Hi, I'm Luke Nichols with the law firm of Nichols and Green, and I love defending reckless driving cases. I have dedicated a serious portion of my career and even my spare time to learning and teaching about reckless driving. For example, I'm one of the few attorneys who have gone through the NHTSA training courses for speed enforcement. These are the training courses that law enforcement officers have to go through before they can use radar or PACE or use LiDAR for speed enforcement. I've even taken it a step further and gone through and gotten certified or gone through the certification course for becoming a speed enforcement instructor. So this is the program, the training program that police officers go through to teach at police academies, to teach other officers how to use LiDAR, radar, and to do pacing. This is something I love to teach about, and I love to write about as well. I've written several books on traffic law and criminal law, including the Virginia Reckless Driving Handbook, which is now in its third edition. I also teach continuing legal education seminars to other lawyers about issues related to reckless driving and other traffic crimes. I don't do lawsuits, I don't do divorces, I don't write contracts. I'm a criminal defense lawyer, and I love to do reckless driving cases. I do more reckless driving cases than any other type of case. My law partner Garrett Green and we handle about 300 reckless driving cases each year. So almost every single day that the court is open, me and Garrett are there defending someone against a reckless driving charge. We've seen all types of reckless driving cases, from the very mundane to the very serious. So most of our clients are charged with reckless driving by speed 20 to 30 miles per hour over the speed limit. That's a very average, typical type of reckless driving case, and we represent several of those every week. However, I've also defended a driver who is accused of going 150 miles per hour in a 55 mile per hour zone. Many of our clients have done very little to deserve their reckless driving charges. But we've also represented very serious cases. I've defended drivers who have been accused of having their car go airborne into someone's house, who have totaled police cars. I've even represented a driver who crashed into 2 fire trucks on the same night. And I've defended people who have caused very serious and permanent physical injury to people. We've also, most of our clients have very good records, but we've represented clients with some real doozies as well. I've represented a driver with negative 54 DMV points on their Virginia record before. So we've seen quite the spectrum. But this experience, doing these hundreds and hundreds of cases, it doesn't just make us good at doing more reckless driving cases. It makes us better at communicating with our clients, with talking to drivers who are accused of reckless driving. And this is important because despite the huge variety of reckless driving cases and all the different ways you can be charged with reckless driving, it seems to me that everyone who comes into my office, they have the same questions. And they want answers. More than anything, they want somebody to explain to them, what's going on, what are the realistic worst case scenarios and best case scenarios, what defenses do they have available, what are we going to do for them, what it's going to be like at court, and they want to know exactly what we're going to charge them. And the thing is, the truth of the matter is, if you do hundreds and hundreds of these cases, answering all those questions is very, very simple. It's very simple. Reckless driving cases, for the most part, are very predictable. Compared to most criminal cases, they're quite predictable. When someone comes into my office, when they have a reckless driving case, and they call me up either on the phone or they come into my office in person, very quickly we can answer all their questions and give them really good concrete answers. So for instance, if you were to come into my office and do a free consultation, I'd sit down and I'd ask you some questions. My staff would ask you some questions. We'd want to know about your DMV record. We'd want to know about the incident itself, your interactions with the law enforcement officer. I'd want to know a little bit about you. Do you have security background check? What do you do for a living? Do you drive for a living? What's your plans for the future? I want to know about you so I can give you advice about how different potential outcomes can affect your future. And quite quickly, I'm going to get all the information that I need, and then I'm going to be able to tell you your worst case and best case scenarios. Now, if you've been online at all, you've read any material about reckless driving, you've heard the crazy stuff. 12 months in jail, $2,500 in fines, 6-month loss of license, permanent criminal record. These things are all technically true. Those are the theoretical maximum penalties for a reckless driving charge. It is a Class 1 misdemeanor for the most part. But for the vast majority of reckless driving cases, they're not going to go to jail for 12 months. Most of them aren't even going to go to jail. Most reckless driving convictions don't result in a loss of license, and certainly most of them don't result in a $2,500 fine. There's a huge spectrum between a criminal conviction and a few $100 fine and going to jail for a year. And obviously the extreme high end of the spectrum isn't the realistic outcome for most people. So what instead we're going to tell you is not that theoretical maximum, but I'm going to tell you a realistic maximum. I'm going to say, based on the jurisdiction you're in, depending on which judge you get, and depending on the officer's attitude and answer to this question or that question, your worst case scenario is this. And for the most of my clients, I'm able to tell them whether or not they're facing any realistic possibility of jail time. And I'm able to confidently tell them whether or not they're facing a realistic possibility of losing their license. And I'm able to tell a lot of them whether or not they're in danger of an excessive fine. And so after I've told them the worst case scenario, then of course we quickly want to get to the best case scenario, because the point is not to scare you, the point is to give you solutions. And so we can explain what can be done. And obviously the best case scenario is a complete acquittal and you walk out of court with nothing. And that's always a possibility in any case. But also, in the majority of cases, we're able to work them out into a reasonable compromise. Most people who come into my office are concerned about the criminal conviction. That's their number one concern. And avoiding that is often a possibility in a lot of cases. In your case, maybe it is, maybe it's not, but very quickly we're going to be able to tell you what realistically is going to be a likely best case scenario. So we're going to give you a realistic worst case scenario, a realistic best case scenario, and talk to you about all the different gradients in between. And we're going to explain to you exactly what we're going to do to try to help you out. Additionally, we're going to have a conversation about your priorities. I want to know what you are most concerned about. What are your objectives? And I'm going to talk to you about how all these different aspects are going to affect your life. So maybe you're concerned about auto insurance. Well, I can explain to you how most insurance companies deal with various different tickets and what you can do to help your insurance and what's going to hurt your insurance. If you're concerned about criminal records, I can talk to you about that and how we can avoid them. If you're concerned about your license, I can talk to you about whether that's even a possibility, and if it is, what we can do about it. So we're going to have a discussion about all those different concerns that you have and how we can go and fix it, what we can do to prevent it. And you're going to tell me what your priorities are, and I'm going to tell you the likelihood of success and exactly the best strategies to go and get your goals achieved. And afterwards, after we're done having this conversation, I'm going to give you a to-do list of everything that I recommend you do to prepare for your case. And it's going to have detailed explanations and resources of where you can go to get this and get that. It's going to be things like getting a copy of your DMV record, perhaps taking a driving improvement course, writing a detailed incident summary about what happened, and a little biography about yourself so I can know more information about you. It might involve doing community service or getting a speedometer calibration or many other things, but your to-do list will be tailored to your particular case, to your particular needs, and to achieving your objectives. Once we have that all done, we're going to then talk to you about our fees. And we're going to give you a flat fee with no hidden costs. Once we give you a fee, that is all you will ever have to pay us to represent you for that case. And we also offer payment plans. We can discuss that with you. And we're going to write down our fee in writing in a contract and give it to you. And you're going to have as much time as you need to read it, look it over, take it home, think about it. That's okay. By the time you leave our office, we're going to do everything we can to make sure that all of your questions have been answered, that all of your concerns have been addressed, that we understand your priorities and your objectives, and that you understand what we're going to do to achieve it. And then, when you leave, you're going to have time to think about whether or not you want to retain us. You're going to know exactly how much it costs and what payment plans and financial options are available to make it a little bit more affordable. Now, whether you have a minor reckless driving offense or a very serious one, we hope that you feel free to call us anytime to set up a free consultation, either by phone or in person, so that we can have this conversation with you. Because more than anything, we enjoy what we do. We enjoy defending reckless driving cases. And we want to share our experience with you and help put your mind at ease so that you know exactly what the likely outcome of your case is and exactly what you're facing. So, once again, give us a call anytime. We're happy to answer questions. If you've been charged with a reckless driving offense in Northern Virginia, call for a free consultation. We're happy to answer your questions. Thanks for watching.